wonderful meals and wonderful memories.
I can play guitar too.
Oh my god, he plays guitar! This man is versatile! Hey Internet, it's Jessica, and welcome back to The Letter. So, we are in Chapter 2, or Hannah's chapter. Now that we are trying to see, like, what happened between Isabella and Rose, like, when they were handing off the house to the Wrights, but it seems like, yeah, you know, she's kind of, like, in denial of the fact that this house is haunted, because she saw the girl in the mirror, but she's just like, oh, odd, I was seeing things. So I really don't know how this ghost lady is gonna interfere with Luke and Hannah moving into the mansion, but we shall see. We say our goodbyes, shake our hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
Of course not, because we have to show that we are rich and shit like that. I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. So is that the reason why Hannah, because, like, okay, I know I, like, you know, didn't like Hannah, like, first impressions and all and stuff like that, but now that I'm playing her right now, I can tell, like, she's just putting on a front, like, she's acting all like, oh, I'm all, you know, better than everybody else because I'm rich, but deep down she's not really like that. And I think also for the fact that, like, since her marriage with Luke is kind of, like, not okay right now, she's kind of finding ways to, like, hey, Luke, look at me, I'm still your wife, and you still love me and stuff. So I think it's not only that she wants to show off to other people, hey, I have a giant mansion. She wants to show off to her husband, look, I can provide this for us and stuff like that, or we can have this life with me and whatever, you know? But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you.
She just wants his approval so badly.
Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
I get that, you know, you can forget dates, but you figured you would just be, like, happy about it. It's clear that this guy is only married to Hannah either for the money or just because she's very pretty. He forgot about it last year, too. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do, but I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea. Water that stretched for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. Even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke I wanted a house on the beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is
Okay.
so impractical if you really think about it.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad now, because clearly she's trying her best to please this guy so that she will have her own dreams. Girl, you can do better than Luke. Honestly, you don't freaking need this guy. Seriously, she can, like, be her own person and marry a better person, you know what I mean?
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
He just...
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horribly fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea coming up to me when the doors open.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That or you're pregnant, okay? Like, you know, I'm not like a professional on that stuff, but you did have fish. And usually, pregnant ladies are not allowed to have fish, right? And you're throwing up randomly. God, if she's pregnant, I kind of feel bad. You were pregnant with Luke. Dude, I know you want kids, but with him? Ugh. That's all I managed to say before vomiting again in the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want to see him like I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I've had a horrible morning wretched into the toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had to throw away months of frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connection I made from that time. Sure, they still know of me, and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time, but I lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any friends. I had when I was Hannah Evans, teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack. Ugh.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting.
Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair even as I cough up more fish. He wipes off the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
She's pregnant!
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
The thing with Luke is, like, I can tell his character is, like, he's very controlling and very... I don't know how abusive he is, but obviously he doesn't treat Hannah well. I think that's why I didn't like him from the beginning. Because, like, when these characters have, like, you know, like, ignorant or pompous, like, attitudes, I can tell which one is, like, the actual, like, reasonable one and which one isn't. I feel like Luke isn't. That's why I can't have sympathy for this guy. I can have sympathy for Hannah because, like, I can question her, be like, oh, she has a chance to redeem herself. But Luke, I don't think so.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling and soon he's in a fit of laughter. The scene's happening next to Luke filled with a sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing.
When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forgot whatever ill feeling plagued me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at the funny face, the little things in life. I let myself go because I know these moments will not last forever. Yeah, because he'll be going back to, like, being an ass. But if I just know the terrible things that are coming from us, I would have wished with everything that I have, and there, that laughter would stay. Okay, this is Wednesday.
Hiya.
Come on, are we back in the mansion? Uh-oh. The place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishing here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from the penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings.
Oh, God, you sound like, ugh.
Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's a No,
mahogany.
You there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
I can see the aspiration, and I have sent the foreman to an apologetic glance. Even Johan rolled his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johan's and I has gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One thing out of place, one little thing that didn't fit in the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes! Marianne, I love you. I love her. I'm sorry, I really love her.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom. Wow, this is a fancy-ass bedroom. This place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I am definitely glad I can just lay down in a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hannah. I have a company to run.
What does he
unless
do?
You've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute.
Oh, yeah, how is this guy supposed to be a dad, honestly, if they want kids? Ugh.
If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things, to joke around, as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest-to-goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late, and I can only see it as a good sign. Good sign of good things to come.
All good points.
I don't know because of that demon lady.
I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing the line. I didn't say that I'm a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah.
Yes, and that, okay, like, I understand not everyone wants kids, but if this bitch doesn't want kids, why didn't he just say it to Hannah and be like, I don't want children? Be honest, that's what the whole point of marriage is, right? You're supposed to be honest with each other. This guy just doesn't want to say it.
We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
What should I say? You'll be a great father. Oh my god, I apologize for bringing it up. In all honesty, Luke is obviously not even fit to be a husband either, so he's not gonna be a great father whatsoever. But the thing is, she shouldn't apologize for bringing it up because it's clearly something she wants and she wants to discuss with her husband, but her husband is too ignorant to even, like, discuss or even admit the fact that he doesn't want kids. Instead of saying, oh, I'm not ready, I don't want the kid now, just say, I don't want kids. How hard is that? Oh, God, I don't want to apologize, though. Just apologize. I feel guilty, uneasy even, about bringing up this topic. This isn't the first time I brought it out of there, considering we've been married for 7 years, but I should have learned my lesson. Talking about it always has gotten me disapproval. After all, this is one of surefire ways to get Luke into a terrible mood.
I'm sorry, but I do think you...
Don't finish that sentence, Hannah. Just don't. We know how this discussion ends. Let's not fight over what-ifs and if-onlys.
But what if we are going to have a family, Luke? What then?
She's pregnant. I'm calling it right now.
I just told you. No what-ifs.
We won't talk about it until you're ready.
Let's not talk about it then. Ever.
That's exactly what my point. He doesn't want him. The silence that follows is stifling. I avert my gaze from him, favoring the view of our four-poster bed, overseeing his embittered expression. Just thinking of how insensitive I am for bringing it up makes me feel sick to my stomach. You're not insensitive! We stay still, and neither of us dare to make the first move to leave. Until a crash downstairs cuts through the tension.
Oh, bloody hell, what is it now? I can't get away for 10 minutes without someone mucking something up! That better not be what I think it is! I know it's only an 8 million yen vase, but I swear, I
don't stop him as he storms off, and he doesn't even bother to look my way, yet I can feel his eyes boring into me, alone as per usual. I should really be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I had rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried into my pillows, but then there's a knock at the door. Grumbling to them to go away doesn't work as my voice comes out from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh, yes. People have caught the wind of our new mansion. The very moment we left the open house, Luke had boasted that he could acquire this property in no time and allow the photo shoot for the interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications, and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
The mansion grounds have been the first of the things to fix up, aside from the bedrooms. Although it's still a work in progress, it had a promising start and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favorite daffodils stand out easily, have been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of her penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscape on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. Oh, hey, it's Zach! Oh, that's right, because remember when we were talking to Isabella in the park, he's like, I have to go do my gig now. It's a freelance job! Oh, okay. It's in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in a quiet admiration. He's hard to miss. The hulking man clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. It is a particular sight, seeing someone who looks like he does handle a little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take for a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living Man.
Zachary!
Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
You look familiar. Have we met?
I have a very wide social circle, so everyone looks familiar at one point or another, but one would think I remember someone who stands out like him. The struggle to recall must have been evident on my face as he quickly and kindly answers my question.
Oh, I was with Isabella,
Oh.
your estate agent, when she had the house blessed.
Yikes, so this is after he called them Luke called him that racially offensive slur? Oh.
Oh yes, that's right. Small world, isn't it?
Should have known you were Miss Wright.
The one and only. Welcome to Maison de Wright. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed. But it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning
Mr. Steele, Mr. Steele.
Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
I trust you.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright, Hannah.
Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in the industry, at the very least. He's the kind of courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For when I ask what the bags are for, they are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he has procured several items and embellishment with the interior with bowls of fruit, lemons, trays of paper mills, stack of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought to the kitchen settings. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, in that large backpack and all suitcases.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best.
He's a natural photographer.
I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that the movers have no business in anymore. The ballroom needs a little preparation with its grand design, although there is still trouble at first, with the wide open space and the picture being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary props come in handy, considering how Johann's kept the place so neat and sterile one can practically eat off the floor. We carry on touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exceptions to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft and that I'm too worried about botched photographs. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging about how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There's a small snippet of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He goes as far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speeds and aperture when I asked about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like I watch artists paint on their canvas. but just watching someone passionately precise their craft, such as this, is exciting in its own way. Going through many rooms have been quite an exercise for both of us. Ooh! Despite the fact that he's so nice, I find myself putting on my best smile. But we're taking pictures in the foyer, then everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And I had not been paying attention, I wouldn't have noticed. It is merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. Oh my god! What the hell? His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Yet, he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face, still gaze firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there is light sheen sweat on his forehead.
Zachary.
Wait, so Hannah can see this? It's only Zach who can see her. Oh my god! No response.
Zach, is something the matter?
Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me, shaking his head. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could have gotten his attention.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something, that's all.
Oh my god, so Zach is the first one in the group to see this aside from Isabel. Well, no, Hannah did, but she didn't believe it. Now Zach believes it, because he knows the story of Isabella and, like, what she told him.
Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggled to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and an indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops, and everything starts again, and I manage to choke out.
If you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue the same pace as before, although there's an unspoken agreement that we do not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
We're just gonna gloss over the fact that we just saw the girl? Okay, whatever. Can I just see my relationship status so far? Okay, so it went down with Luke, which is the new one. That's freaking great.
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do
I
then?
want to make movies. Maybe I've been out of line, sticking my nose into other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump and the easygoing air he had fades away. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or not.
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about color. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Blue Fonzie is all about?
He hesitates, but when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Blue Fonzie, le heu la plus sombre des noirs britanniques. My French is bad. Hello. Dark blue, the darkest hours of the Black British. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through the very matter of he's concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge of his experience in his speech. Why, I wouldn't told him that he was an amazing speaker if only I wasn't so engrossed by listening. Prejudice and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. The sad thing is her own damn husband said racist things towards him! He spoke of blacks and the people of color in general still being treated like second-class citizens, all because of the color of their skin. It is just positively riveting and sad. It comes to a point wherein he soon loses steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he had just done.
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
Is she flirting with him? I want to say that I understand where he's coming from, but I really don't, do I? I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth and I've lived a charmed life. It hadn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pales in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared in a different world. Would I still have met Luke? Would he still love me if I was any lesser?
What was your home like? These things you talk about. It sounds like you... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class. I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around.
I didn't even realize to say this. We're in the UK, right? This game takes place in the UK. Because, like, Luke was talking about going to Cardiff. I didn't realize. I thought they were in America, so my bad.
A pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards. At the stolen item is not a pencil, but an expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that.
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like fragile porcelain, with nursemaids waiting to me to hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want. I could ask for a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. But I barely saw my parents. Just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were needed to next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive move overcomes us, and there's this moment neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
Well, that's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
He certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one, just as large and extravagant, and just as empty. I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde Mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé. The darkest hours of the Black British.
That's actually
I
really
recommend you
nice.
watch it.
You know, I'm starting to like Hannah now, because she's starting to like. I guess she becomes like more of like a high class bitch when she's around Luke. When she's around other people, she's like a normal person.
Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
People, right?
Oui. People are shite. What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's being busy, looking taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say a crass word. But he quickly recovered. After snapping a few shots, he grins.
Yeah, vous êtes belle.
Ooh.
You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents.
Oh my god, they're flirting with each other, or at least Hannah is, right?
Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
No, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry, but I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
I can cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It's been too long since I had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. Although we just met, Zachary is sort who can probably befriend anyone. Yeah, because you can tell, right? He has a very nice personality, he's very charming, and you just want to hug this guy all the time because he's so sweet. He's just a comfortable person to be around with. A bit too comfortable. And somewhere along the way, as we talk and laugh, I find myself getting a bit too close without realizing. He'll give me this strange look until I back off, and he'll go back to asking questions after I agree to do his little interview. And it's just odd. Well, no. Me being friendly isn't that odd. That's how I am. Zachary is one that's being odd. Why anyone else would absolutely welcome the extra attention I give them. He, on the other hand, looks almost flustered about it. Oh my god! Wait! Oh! I can get Hannah and Zachary together, can't I? That's what the game is insinuating. I don't know if I would like Zachary to go with Hannah yet. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Do you think they would be a good couple now that we kind of know Hannah a little bit better? Because I'm not sure if I want them together yet, because I want to see how their story progresses first, but I mean, at least she's being kind to him, you know? He should be used to different personalities by now, having to deal with various people when he works. And if not, he needs to start. Perhaps nobody has shown his attention of his kind, but he's a big boy. He should be able to handle me. All it is a friendly touch here, a pretty smile there, a gentle swaying of hips as I move around. I think also, regardless if Hannah is actually flirting with Zachary. I think that's the way she thinks she has to, like, be around men. Because, like, remember when she was talking to the police officer, Lee, she already noticed that, like, this dude is, like, eyeing her body up, like, how it happens, like, all the time with other men. Even Isabella noticed that too, like, all the men were always staring at Hannah. And I think she has to play it up like, oh, I'm this, like, sexy, rich lady, you know, I have to look like this or have to act like this around men to get their attention, because the husband likes attention. I don't think she really necessarily likes the attention, but she's just used to doing that, so she does it, like, you know, without thinking. Zachary grew more and more red every time he noticed. Am I being mean as I find enjoyment in seeing him unravel? Perhaps. This went on during the interview and beyond that. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing, right? Zachary and I are just having playful, friendly chat while enjoying the outside view. At least that's how I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm really getting distracted.
Uh-oh.
Could you maybe stop doing that?
Stop? I'm not sure if I want to, though. Continue teasing, stop it. I don't know if I want them together yet. So right now I'm just gonna say... Right now I'm gonna say stop it, because I don't want to make Zachary uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Also adding the fact, even though I don't like Luke being with Hannah, she's still married and she shouldn't be doing that, you know? That's how I see it.
I'll stop if it makes you uncomfortable, sweetie.
Sorry.
No, I should be the one apologizing. Why, you're a shy one, aren't you, big guy?
It's not that, but...
He gestures to the ring on my finger and lets the fact of the matter hang heavily between us. Exactly, because she's married! It's weird! Being told implicitly that I'm too forward is not a common occurrence. I think I'm more stunned at the fact that he pointed out rather than, well, being rejected. Not that anything is going to happen between us in the first place. It was just going to be some harmless flirting, right?
So, you've never had a girlfriend?
No. No boyfriend either. You know, just in case you were gonna ask for that one next.
And you haven't even had your first kiss?
Not a one, ma'am.
Oh my god, he's so innocent! What?
Do you want to have your first kiss today?
I can't help it. I really can't, and I'm going to apologize lots later. Surely by the catty smile on my face, it's obvious that I'm pulling his leg. The laugh I failed to contain certainly gives it away, if it still isn't obvious. But still, he lights up in embarrassment, stammering and sputtering objections.
You're married, and this will be extremely unprofessional.
I never said I would kiss you, silly. Oh, Johan!
No, what? No. Don't call your butler. She's Hannah.
That would be for the better. I don't think his husband would appreciate it if I made him kiss another man.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know Johans was gay. Oh, cool. That's cool. I'm glad that they're including different types of characters, and that's what I always appreciate every time I see it in video games. Like, thank you, young Millwall. Thank you.
I do not think you can hear us from here either. But it is hard to think you're not taken, Zachary. Why, whoever becomes your girlfriend will be so lucky to have you. You can cook and take wonderful photographs.
And you're so sweet and nice, you know, and very encouraging and supportive. Like, damn, Zachary's a catch!
Wonderful meals and wonderful memories.
I can play guitar too.
Oh my god, he plays guitar! This man is versatile.
You can? Oh my. Wonderful serenades as well then. Perhaps I could find a young lady who deserves a fine, strapping young gentleman like yourself.
Let's not get carried away. Besides, I gotta be going. It's getting late and I got someplace else to be.
A shame. I will be expecting you again soon, I hope. For a copy of my photographs, yes?
Of course. I'll even deliver them personally. Just, you know, don't try to make me kiss your butler when I drop by.
As fate would have it, the very moment the words leave his mouth, Johans comes out of the house. Judging by the slight raise of his eyebrow, he has heard only the tail end of her sentence.
There shall be no kissing of any butlers under this roof. Danke.
But you are not under a roof.
To my amusement, he takes a step back, safely placing him within the threshold of the foyer under the roof of the house. And just as ever, he quickly just returns to a sardonic reply.
I am now. As I was saying, madam, it's about time for supper. Will I be needing to set an extra place at the table?
Oh, what? No, I was just leaving, actually. So, you have a good night, Hannah, and you too, Hansy.
It was nice to meet you, Zach, honey. You have a safe trip.
He nods, and the grin on his face, as we say our goodbyes, is the sweetest that I've ever seen. I linger, looking out for him while his relatively tiny bicycle backpack safely secured on the basket in front, and suitcase hooked on the back. I watch as he went down the path back to Anslin Village, until he is nothing more than a blimp in the horizon. I can't help the small smile that is on my face as I go inside for supper. Okay, let's check out our relationship stats. Definitely went up with Zachary and just went down with Luke. You know what? I don't give a crap about Luke. I really don't. I just don't like him. Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode of the letter right here. So, yeah, I guess I'm starting to like Hannah a little bit more because she seems like she's just putting on a front because she felt like she had to. I'm still not sure if I would like Hannah and Zachary together. It's still like a very if for me because I get that she's being very nice to him and like whatever, right? But I want to get to know her a little bit more before I decide what romances will happen in this game. But yeah, regardless of that, no one's talking about the demon girl or the ghost lady, huh? No one's gonna talk about her? Zach's just gonna be like, I saw that, and cool, that's it. So, that's a bit concerning. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can know when I upload the next episode of The Letter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! Oh my god. Is Shauna furry?
Never dated an Asian guy. Oh, you're missing out. You know that famous saying, once you go Asian, you know it's amazing.
A lovely rosemary mushroom crostini, sliced and lightly toasted, baguettes topped with beautiful sauté onions with a dash of garlic and hints of butter. Mushrooms cooked